Welcome, yogis, to practice today. I'm Kimberly. We're going to find a quick turn up for the shoulders here. We're going to build heat really quickly through 90-second intervals, working eccentrics. So that means lengthening as well as strengthening some key muscles that really come into play anytime we're weight bearing on our hands. So don't give it 100% today. That's really my advice. Take it slow. You don't have to go the whole 90 seconds. Pause when you need to. And again, repetition is key. Have a couple blocks and we are going to jump right in. So if you need some wrist warm up, just pause me and find that for yourself. Maybe it's down dog or a brief sun A. Any warm up that you might want. Because we're going to start right into side plank. You can bring your right knee down or stagger your legs. Inhale, stretch the arm up. Hug your right shoulder in the socket the whole time. And then exhale slowly and just sweep that top arm underneath. Inhale, and that might be about a 6 to 8 count. And then exhale, the exhale is where you linger, about 6 to 8 counts. Feeling that whole right side body engage, back of the shoulder, inhale up, and then exhale. So the inhale won't be as long, it'll be a little more quick. So that slow exhalation taps you into more that restful, calm connection of the parasympathetic nervous system. Really nice way to get through this as well as connecting to that breath to pull you out of that fight or flight response. And then sweep it under and pause for 10. Let it quiver. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. So second side, we are going to come right into it. Left palm down, hug the shoulder in the socket, and then inhale, stretch the right arm up. Exhale, thread it. And as you linger on the breath out, just keep reminding that left shoulder to hug into the socket. And try not to rock the hips. The hips are going to want to turn with the arm. Push the mat away through the left palm. Try not to jut the head forward either. Keep your left ear more and more over your elbow crease. So your traps aren't pulling, the weight of your head isn't pulling on the spine. All those components come into play as we try to strengthen more of that plane of the body behind us that we don't always connect to because we can't see it. Our eyes being in the front of our head. Hold it at the sweep of the arm for 10, 7, 6, 4, 2. Come on out. Nicely done. All right, so next one, you don't have to use blocks, but if you have them, we're going to do reverse tabletop. Set the blocks up on the lowest level here, and then fingers curl around the edge of the block. So get your shoulders back, just bend your knees here. So it's all about the play of the angles. So as we inhale here, the arms are straight. Try not to focus on the hips, but rather bending the elbows and hug them in. So the hips stay right at that same level the whole time. but you're lowering, lifting from the bend. And that's the hard part. All right, here we go. Shoulders back. Exhale, bend the elbows, hug the belly back towards the spine to support the low back. Inhale up, and then exhale, suspend and try to hover. Notice the elbows want to also bleed out. Imagine squeezing them in towards one another, and you should really feel the back of the shoulder turn on. And then notice how that abrupt inhale brings you up quickly, and then the suspension on the exhale is where the work and the trembling happens. But if you need to, take a longer inhale so they can be about at the same rate. So that is gradual progress that will just come in time. So as you progress, the more you hover in this exhale, the more work you're actually doing. At this bottom end, pause for 10. Hug your elbows in, belly back. 3, 2, inhale up, and then drop the seat. Great. So we're gonna come to plank. And again, up to you, use the blocks or not. Because we're going into a variation of up dog, I think it's friendlier on the shoulders. So it's going to be, I'll just show you. Keep the toes curled under. So the exhale is gonna come as we drop the hips, all right? But micro bend the elbows and really broaden the chest. The inhale is to lift. Exhale to hover. All right, so that's it. Here we go, exhaling. Draw the hips down, but plug the shoulders in the sockets. Inhale up. So you get that engagement of the core as well. Eccentrically lengthening and contracting the front body here as you dip the hips down and breathe out. Same with the triceps. So your job is to continue to broaden the chest here. Roll the inner biceps forward as you drop the hips. And again, be mindful of the head just jutting forward and dropping as well. Really get the upper palate back in your up dog. Lift through the crown of the head. Squeeze the scapula together. Get your rhomboid stronger, not just serratus. Hold at the bottom. Next time down for 10. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and knees down. Woo! Arms on fire. All right, but just notice you might even pause where you feel it. And so I'm feeling it all around chest, triceps, core. Let's keep going. This is fun. All right, so let's do some core work. I just threw this one in. Why not? So let's start in Navasana. 90 seconds. We're going to do block passing. Low boat, high boat. Here we are. Block between feet. That's the pass. Inhale up, grab. Low boat. Inhale up. Exhale, low boat. And then just keep it going. Try to hover in that low boat on the exhale. Quick pass. Inhale. Exhale, hover. And knit the front ribs back the whole time. Notice the shoulders want to scrunch and plug them down and in the socket. You can bring the arms overhead, make it more challenging. Maybe you're coming up with straight legs. Keep the breath moving. Tap into that sense of being calm within the strength and support of the breath. 20 more seconds. Last 10. Hold your low boat. Knit front ribs, plug shoulders, lift through sides of heart. Lift the chin. Inhale, Navasana. And then exhale, just sit up. Pause there. And then come back to the block between your feet. We're going to take the right arm out and come to your right hip. So the right arm is out, parallel or straight out from the shoulders, let's say. And come to your right elbow here. We're going to do side jacks. So we're going to stand that right hip and then reach, hover. And I like the exhale to come up with this one. So you can really tease that suspension at the top as you breathe out, inhale, and then exhale. Keep plugging your right shoulder into the second and try not to roll back. Stay on the lateral posterior hip. Well, you also feel the left side, or you really feel the left side with this one. Woo, I'm starting to quiver. Good stuff. Last 30 seconds. Hold it at the bottom, maybe hands together, twist to your left, and then pulse, 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 pulse. Nice. Drop your knees, twist your torso to the left. And just let that left side body open up. And then second side. So come to your left hip, block between feet, left arm out. Here we go. Exhale up, inhale lower. It's nice to get into the side core, the lateral stabilizers. And the great thing about side plank is it really does strengthen the outer hips as well. Glute medius. That whole side line of the body. Keep it going, almost there, 30 more seconds. Low boat, pause, interlace, twist to your right, lift the left shoulder blade, and then pulse, pulse. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Great. Drop your knees there. Twist to your right. Deep breaths. And then go ahead and rock up. So for this next one, we're going to work the abdominals on the front plane, more or less. So take a block or a roll. If you have a blanket or a towel, you can roll that up. But place it right under your sacrum. And then come close enough to a wall that you can push your feet into it. So the legs are really going to be charged, pushing down through the heels and feet into the baseboard of the wall. So you're never letting them detach. So prop up, so you're just about 45 degrees. Sacrum's heavy on the block. Take an inhale, that's the lift up, and then exhale's the hover. Keep pushing into the floor and the wall and go as low as you can. Inhale up. Exhale, knit the front ribs. Go as low as you can. Inhale up. So the legs are really active, as well as the belly. Be mindful of the shoulders. They want to lift up and draw together on the front body. Try to keep the chest broad. So you're really focusing on isolating the upper abdominals, the lower abdominals. Use some good spine work here. Spine stability. Less than 30 seconds. Try to suspend as you exhale, maybe a little lower. Inhale up. Last one, hold it at the bottom. 10, 9, 8, 7, maybe a little lower. 4, 3, 2, and inhale, up you go. Whew, that one's tough. All right, so next on the agenda, grab a couple blocks. We're going to do more for the chest and the arms. So I'll give you different variations of this depending on your level. So the more you get your hips over your shoulders, the harder it's going to be. As we bend our elbows from this dog pose, option 1 is to use blocks to get your hips over your shoulders more. But as we bend, our elbows are going to come out, right and left, not in. Right, so you're going to get more through the delts and the chest. That's option 1. Option 2 is to use a wall and use the wall to get your hips more over your shoulders, whether the knees are bent or eventually straight. And I like to just look back behind me so my neck stays long. Okay, that's what we're doing. So you choose. If you're in dog, feet on block, really scoot your hips forward. Try to get your hips over the shoulders as best you can. All right, if you're joining me on the wall, hips over shoulders, maybe gaze down. Bend your elbows out as you exhale. Inhale, straighten. Whatever variation you're in, just try to keep the inner palms really firm. Push through the thumb knuckles, index finger knuckles, and finger pads. You really got to use your belly here, especially if you're at the wall. To support the hips. And if you need to, you just bend the knees. Won't be as challenging getting the hips back. Last exhale, hold. Let it tremble. And then gently come out. Nicely done. All right, so stand up tall, maybe shake out the arms there. Crisscross. Get the blood flow going. I like to pretend I'm a swimmer. Do some circles there. And then we're gonna come to our forearms. Oh. Can hear I'm a little fatigued. I did this whole thing yesterday at my own intensity. So yes, I feel it today. All right, so turn your right forearm in. Option 1, hips down and stack the knees. We're gonna just lower and lift the hips. So the exhale's to hover, the inhale's to lift up. Option 2 is lift the hips. So option 3 is to float the bottom leg, right? You choose. Here we go, 90 seconds. Right shoulder in the socket. Keep that really super duper important. And then exhale, inhale up. Don't let your head jet too far forward. Think of rolling your left ribs open. And then lounge back slightly. Exhale as you lower. Inhale as you come up. You can always stagger the feet too, scissor the legs. You might suspend and hover. Try your best to continue to move with the breath. Center around the waist. And then hold it at the bottom. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, hips down. All right, here we go, second side. Come to your left hip, hug the left shoulder into the socket. Try to maintain that the whole time. And then lift the hips, hover on the exhale, inhale up. And the forearm can be turned out 45 degrees or so. I like the top hand behind my head just to remind my skull to go back. Not forward. Thirty more seconds. That's 20. Keep plugging your left shoulder in the socket. And then hold at the bottom. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, hips down. Great. Nicely done. Continuing on, let's come right back to some core. Come to your back. And then from here, we will take the arms out like a T. And then it's pretty simple. We're just gonna do elbow to knee and then hand to foot. So you're lifting up, but just a straight leg. On that second rep, bent elbow and knee on the first. And just be happy that you're not on your hands at this point. You can do the whole thing with a straight arm and leg and just alternate a little more intense. So it's not the 2 count. And keep squeezing the low belly back. The low back isn't lifting. And really hug the midline here as you lift and lower. Three, 2, and 1. Hold in your low boat. Reach your arms forward and then just switch the legs. So you're scissor kicking, but lift the chest, lift the chin, hug the shoulders into the sockets, and drive your navel to the spine. Just 30 seconds for this one. Already 10 seconds in. 15. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Knees to chest. Come up to Navasana there. Inhale. And just cross your ankles. Okay, so for this next one, we're gonna find locust at the wall. It's gonna work the erectors of the spine. You can use a blanket and roll it up if you don't mind having a block at your belly. I know some of my students do. The other option is to not use a block at all. So I'm gonna place a foam block right under my belly where there's no bones. And then make sure you're just gonna have to adjust as you go. Make sure you can push your feet into the wall. Now your thighs will stay down the whole time. And then what we're gonna do is reach our arms back alongside our hips. Lift your shoulder heads up and then inhale, that's your extension, extending the spine. Lift the chin a little. And then exhale, round the spine. Not just drop the head, but round segmentally, 1 vertebrae at a time. And then inhale to come up. And then exhale, try to hover. Inhale to come up. And then exhale to round the spine a little. Don't just drop the head. Try to hover. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, round. And make it harder. You can reach the arms overhead. And then exhale. Maybe fly them back or arms out. Really up to you. Just keep them alongside you. And hover on the exhalation. Thirty more seconds. Feel all those little muscles along the spine. Engaging as you cinch around the waist. And then hold it down on your exhalation, but keep breathing. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then just push back there to child's pose. Take a moment. And then come to your elbows. We're going to find dolphin push-ups. Plant your elbows under your shoulders. You can interlace your hands or just keep your palms flat. But I want you to actively push your elbows down and then hug your upper arms back. So your whole arm is engaged, your whole shoulder, your chest is engaged. Lift the hips. Inhale, look forward, and then exhale. Draw the shoulders forward, chin forward. Try to draw them forward of the fingers. Inhale to push back. Inhale, opening the angle, and then exhale, closing off that angle, contracting the lats. Little stretch as you take it back through the lats. To make it a little more challenging, you can place your blocks on your feet on blocks. You can also do this at the wall. Get your hips more over your shoulders. It's much harder that way. You can bend your knees as needed. Last 30 seconds. But just be mindful of hugging your upper arms into the sockets the whole time. Last 10 seconds. Lean forward. 5, 4, 3, 2. Push back and then drop the knees down. Nicely done. Just take a moment there to sit up. Maybe roll the shoulders a few times. And then take your right arm under your left. Use the breath in to inflate the back ribs. Stretch the shoulder blades apart, and then exhale to soften. Take 2 more full breaths. And then just switch which form is on top. Great, and then stand on your knees. So this one's not timed or anything. Camel pose, shoulders back, tailbone down, and then just lean back. You can use blocks here outside of your ankles. You know, it's more about just opening the chest than anything. As you lift through the heart and retract the shoulder blades. Get the shoulders back, burst the heart up. If it's comfortable, suspend. Maybe draw the head back. And then inhale to come up. Come right to plank. So last one, I'm going to do serratus push-ups. I want you to draw the shoulder blades together. Keep the elbow straight and then pause as you breathe out. Plug the upper arms back. And then the inhale to push away and really dome the upper back. So it's not about the head dropping. In fact, find a little up dog here at the bottom. Lift the back of the skull up. Linger. The longer you can hang out here, the better as you squeeze together shoulder blades. And then push away, protract. Inhale. Exhale. Just the rib cage. Really drawing towards the mat as your shoulder blades glide towards one another. Inhale up. And exhale. "30 more seconds. Inhale up. Keep knitting the front ribs, lifting the front ribs as you lower. Inhale up. Inhale up, last one, pause at the bottom. Lift the back of the skull, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale up, and then drop the knees down. And then come right into a side plank on the right hand. I just want you to take your bicep in line with your ear. Turn the palm back so you're internally rotating. And then squeeze the shoulder blades together. So the palm flips up, okay? Keep drawing with a straight arm, straight back behind you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then feel stretch through the top of the right shoulder as you roll your right hip down. Maybe look down your left arm. Push away, plug the shoulder in the socket. 3, squeeze the shoulder blades together. 2, and then slowly just push through the right foot. I want you to draw your hips down here. And then bend your right knee inside, bend to your right hand to the left knee. Maybe take your fingertips and make a little cradle around your temple. Just feel it stretch to the whole left side. And drop your left hip really heavy. Lounge your chest back as you roll it open. And then inhale and sit up. And then I want you to just stack your feet here. So we're going to get more through that left side body. Walk your left hand out and then allow your left shoulder to shrug. So you're really lengthening through that whole left side. Just letting gravity create a little more tension. You open through the left side of the body here. And then we're just going to stay on the left hip. Take your right knee forward of the left. And then supine twist. Reach your right arm out. And if you want to go further, bend your right knee, your left knee, and grab around the ankle with your right hand. And then straighten your right knee and grab around the blade edge of the foot. I'm getting a nice twist here for that. Nice twist here for the whole spine, the whole body really. And also the outer hip. Take a full inhale. And the exhale, release. And then just sit up and come to your right hand for side plank. And then take your left palm down, bicep in line with your ear as you hug your right shoulder in the socket. And then lengthen tailbone to heels. I just want you to flip the palm up and then keep the elbow straight as you reach behind you and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Get that right shoulder blade to squeeze towards the left as well. But then roll the left hip down and then bring it back in line. Draw the arm forward, spin the pinky finger back behind you. And then turn the palm up. Keep that, not just the hand, but the whole arm internally rotating as you draw a line back. Squeeze the shoulder blades and then maybe look down your right arm here. I love this one. It really opens through that side of the neck, upper traps. And then slowly just step your left foot down so you can softly drop your right hip. And then split the legs apart for deer pose, left-handed knee. Twist your right and then reach your right arm up and over. You can draw the form across the top of the head. Maybe a hand behind the head. Anchor through the right hip. Allow the breath to just infiltrate through the right side. In every cell. Feel the texture of the breath. Take one more. Then exhale, sit up. And then walk your right hand out, stacking the hips to drape the right side body and let the right shoulder shrug. This is a great one for your QL, the main stabilizers of the spine. Keep cinching around the waist. And then make this as passive as possible, just allowing gravity to do the work. And then slowly bend your knees slightly. You're going to take a twist. Draw the left knee forward of the right. Right hand to knee. And then twist to your left. Option to straighten the left leg, maybe quad stretch as well. take a moment. Feel the weight of the whole body. Just how much you can get out of so little. It's really strong and targeted work in coordination with the support of the breath. Has this huge impact at the end, this whole body connection. And then gently release. And just roll onto your back. And then set your feet off of the mat or just wider on the width of the mat so you can take the knees side to side. It's a nice massage for the sacral spine. And then hug them in, give them a squeeze, and then gently make your way into rest, whether that means a block under the sacrum, maybe supported plow, or shoulder stand, legs at the wall. But take the time to rest, whatever shape you're in. Knowing that a big part of this work of strengthening your tissues is not only the work we're doing to stabilize and mobilize, but also the time for rest. And then coming back to this practice at least once a week, giving yourself those mental high fives as you progress. Namaste.